it's Abby.
And Abby, and we're here with the Christian Leaders News.
Well, we're continuing in our exciting March month, Multiply Ministry. Woohoo! And so, first of all, we only have a week left, but there is still time for you to participate.
That's right. So we have an exciting announcement about the convention. We kind of teased this before, but there was no registration or anything. So the dates have stayed the same, but we are actually going to be holding it in Chicago area in Illinois.
We are so grateful. We got invited back in a way. They were willing for us to be there at the Ozinga Farm again, and we absolutely love that location, and that had worked super well. And even for those flying in, it's so much better to fly into the Chicago airport. So we're going to be there again, and we're so excited and again grateful for the hospitality of the Ozinga family.
Absolutely. So we do have a registration link that we will post in the description. So if you are ready to commit to come join us, you can sign up today. And we definitely will have some more details to come on this, but we were just talking about hopefully a graduation ceremony and just some new things that hopefully will be exciting for you guys.
Yep. Kind of taking that graduation ceremony, like you said, to the next level. You know, we've sort of done that, but even providing more opportunities for that, as well as we'll have sessions like we did before, some more kind of, again, interesting discussions and topics. So yes, looking forward to it.
So we have a Soul Centers update as well. You know, we had launched this previously with a registration fee, but we have felt called to make the process free, which is really awesome.
Yeah, and right now we have 20 Soul Centers already listed on this directory, and so we would love to get your Soul Center. So are you interested in registering yours? You can enroll in the Soul Center registration course now. And just to, again, re-talk about what a Soul Center is, you know, there's a lot of different things it could be. It could be if you're leading a Bible study or a life coach practice, or you have an online ministry, or in your local area you're doing some sort of ministry work, and there's a lot of other ways, again, you can participate with Soul Center, which goes through in that class, so check that out. And again, we would love to have that Soul Center. So again, Christian Leaders students and alumni and other people can find where you're located and be able to potentially connect more with your Soul Center.
Absolutely. So we also have that degree sale continuing on. We've, you know, been blessed to see a lot of people taking advantage of this, which is great. So that coupon code is still working through the end of the month, degree sale 2023 for 25% off. And then of course, if you have questions or need a specific payoff link, you can reach out to Anne, and her email address is right there at the bottom of the screen.
Absolutely, and that's also a way to participate, again, with the drawing, which we'll talk about those prizes in a second.
Coming up.
So this is an exciting update as well. We're going to be changing our URL, and for many of you that are longtime students, you might not even notice really what the URL is anymore. You just go and you log in at christianleadersinstitute.org, and you know that site is for now as it is, but Moodle, which is the learning platform where you can take all of the courses, that's going to become study.christianleaders.org, and this is in line to continue with our brand as well as simplifying this URL. It will be redirecting for a time being, but at some point we will kind of be really switching it over. So if you, let's say, have Christian Leaders, the learning platform, bookmarked where you take all your courses, you might want to re-bookmark it and change it to this.
That's right. All right, so now we have some more details on these drawings. We've been really dangling them in front of you. Now we have some details. There's 1 week left to participate. We'll be going live a week from today on Friday, hopefully going live. And we'll be doing those drawings live. So there's still time to participate, and we hope you can join us for that. But let's talk about the prizes, Abby.
Yes.
What you got?
Okay, so if you donated one time this month, it's going to be $250 store credit, and so maybe there's some merch you've had your eye on, or maybe some credentials that you've been interested in. Maybe you want to get that premium clergy kit. Now would be a great time if you get drawn your name in this one time, and so encourage any of you that are interested in that to participate. Signing up as a monthly VP, we are going to be giving a sponsored degree if you already are maybe in a degree program, that could go towards that, or if you've already completed a degree or something, then we can also give that into store credit. So, but for those of you that have not, we're going to be drawing on any of the VPs, both US or international. Now, we just talked about the convention, so great week to kind of get that all clarified. We are going to be sponsoring the travel and trip of one of the signing up monthly VPs to come to our convention and be able to be a part of that fun.
For sure. And then also for anyone who's used that degree coupon that we just talked about, the prize for that drawing will also be a sponsored trip. So very fitting. And then we talked about merch. We have a lot of exciting new merch with our new
The
logo,
new
on
logo.
it. Yeah, it looks really great. We have some notebooks and new polos. So I think this will be a part of, those goodie bags. But for referring a new student who signs up and gets started with Christian Leaders, to do that, you just can email Abby's email to get entered to buy a book. You'll also get entered for a goodie bag. And then also emailing a photo, if you have one, or a story of multiplication. And we've been getting a few of those in, which are really, really inspiring to read, and we're excited to share more of those. So those are 3 really easy ways to kind of get involved in this month of multiplication.
Woohoo! All right, so we also have a student interview. And, what I really loved about her interview is I got an opportunity to look at her degree program. And without spoiling it too much, basically she said as soon as she signed up at Christian Leaders, she faced some of the greatest attacks that she'd ever experienced. And, I think that speaks into that may be happening to you, as you are saying yes to your calling and you're digging into the Word of God and you're deepening your relationship with Christ. It can get hard. It can get really hard. And she has, a powerful testimony of, what she's been through, but also just that perseverance for her to continue to this point of being a degree graduate. So, let's go over to that interview.
All right. Well, I am so excited to be here and interviewing one of our new associate graduates. And I had the privilege of reading your exit paper. And so congratulations on behalf of Christian Leaders College and the staff.
Thank you.
And what I was so inspired about was the perseverance that you have shown in getting this associate. And we'll get there in a second. But first, I would love if you could share with the students who you are, where you are, and a little bit about how you came to this point of being called and being a disciple of Christ.
Okay, well, I am currently sitting in a car in La Mesa, California. Our family just moved here a few weeks ago, and we're in the process of our home inspection being done today. So, but my husband is the youth pastor at a church here, and the new youth pastor, not at a new church, but anyway, so we're digging in and running hard, and I'm praying to get my bachelor's quickly too. So
that's awesome.
And you wanted to know how I became a Christian, is that what you said?
Yeah, just a little bit about what brought you to the Lord and brought you to your particular calling of studying the associate.
Okay. So as far as what brought me to the Lord, I am actually a pastor's kid. And back many years ago, there was a movie called A Thief in the Night. And the people in that movie were personal friends of our family. And so I was 5 and I watched the movie, and it was a little bit more real for a 5-year-old than it should have been. And so I was afraid of being left behind. And so my mom and dad prayed with me and said, let's make sure that doesn't happen. And so I came to know Jesus through just watching a movie. And as far as call to ministry goes, I knew I was called to ministry very early, around 6th grade. And then the Lord had me marry a youth pastor like I thought he was doing. And so, but eventually it became, I didn't get to finish my education and different things. And I really felt that. And I was homeschooling one of my sons who has a learning disability, and we realized that maybe homeschooling college would be smart too. And so when we found Christian Leaders College, we were like, yes, this is it, and so that's how we ended up working on it together. So
I absolutely love that, how you're doing this with your son. And I think it's just being such a role model, and how much we learn from our life is just by seeing what others are doing, especially I think kids to parents. So again, just kudos for coming alongside him in that journey and doing that. That is amazing. One thing that, as I already said, as you kind of started this degree program, a lot of things have happened. And we see that a lot where spiritual warfare comes when you start really digging in and taking your education and just your dedication to what you're doing to the next level. So share a little bit about what's happened and how you have persevered through that to this point right now of getting the associate.
Well, I think the first week after I'd signed up was the week that our second grandson was born 3 months early. And we spent the next 7 months waiting to know if the Lord was going to let us keep him or not. And it was a very long, he had COVID and, just different things that just about took him out. And so that all was happening during my first year of school. And then somewhere in the middle of the whole thing, our pastor at the church where we were working started preaching heresy. And pretty serious stuff. It's not like, oh, we just disagree on this little
Right.
theological thing.
Yeah.
It was real true heresy. And um we tried to come alongside, but in a subordinate role, that has to be handled very gently. And we
Right.
didn't want to cause, you know, rifts in our church. But on the other hand, how do you hold fast to God's truth and kind of call people on that? And so we were dealing with that whole scenario. And then on top of it, our oldest son, who was a highly decorated police officer, was falsely accused of a crime and thrown in jail. And so all of these things happened in a very tiny space of time. And then eventually, after our pastor chose not to come back to God's word, we had to leave. And so we had just gotten there 2 years before, and now we're at a brand new church again. So, and is God faithful? Absolutely, he is. But certainly, he calls us to learning things that we maybe didn't know we were going to be learning. And those are where we're at. So,
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
that's again a lot that can happen at once. And like you said, it's like there's so many tough things about it. Not only do you have family that your son, that means a lot, the grandson, what you were going through there, and then
Yeah.
dealing with this at the core of like where you're serving in ministry too, this heresy and stuff, like you said, it's hard to be the person in maybe subordinate role and trying to help the truth be seen and then moving
Yeah.
you said on top of it and a new kind of
Well, and I forgot I almost died from my kidney failing too in the midst of all that. So while my grandson was in the hospital with COVID and we thought we really were losing him, my kidney shut off. And so I just kept saying to the Lord, please don't let this baby die while I can't go, And
yeah.
instead he chose to heal him and he chose to heal me. Praise the Lord. But all that was happening too. So I forgot that little tiny piece.
I was thinking about it from the paper, but I was like, well, maybe she doesn't want to share that, so I didn't.
Yeah, no, it was just that there were so many things I've kind of gotten
Right.
lost in
Yeah.
all
Well,
he's done.
it's kind of like, if I can speak on just the little I know about you, I think that's so humble. You didn't even think of what you were going through. You're thinking of what everyone else was going through. And
Yeah,
and I think we do that sometimes, especially in ministry. We're serving, serving, serving. Sometimes we're not even taking care of ourselves. But
right.
I'm really glad that the Lord has healed both you and your grandson and has continued to be faithful in even those really tough circumstances. And so what your goal is to continue to a bachelor and what are some other things that maybe God might be calling to you to, especially in all the change that's taken place?
I've had several conversations with him recently about that. I've been a piano teacher for 30 some years, and mainly that was kind of because it helps fill in the financial needs for youth pastors.
Right.
But I mean, there's an honest piece of ministry, right? But
Right.
I really believe that he's leading me into more hands-on ministry. And it's so funny because I was sitting in the Jesus Revolution movie the other night and he was talking to me about it. And I wept through the whole movie, but he was just talking to me about, I have different things for you now. And I was in that place of surrender where you're like, okay, Lord, let me just hold my hands out and you just put in them what you want. So I
Mhm.
have no idea where he's going with this. I just know that he's going somewhere. So
That's beautiful. And I also absolutely love that movie and I relate to you crying during it. But I love that picture that you just painted of, sometimes we just hold out our hands and we say, you fill them with what you
yes.
know is best. And so I
Yeah.
I just love how you just said that. So any final kind of words of encouragement for a student who maybe is facing similar persecutions or completely different things of challenge? What's something you would say as they're continuing in whatever their educational journey looks like?
If you can take into your soul the idea of taking on the Lord's hand, he's your dad, he's your father. Take his hand and just let him walk you where he knows you need to go. And don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Just walk and let him guide you instead of feeling like you need to do things in your own strength or you need to make things work in your own abilities. No, watch God. And if God steps forward, walk with him. And if he stands still, stand still with him.
That's beautiful. That is wonderful. Well, thank you again for sharing your powerful testimony. And again, congratulations on your hard work
Thank
at
you,
our
Abby.
program. And I look forward to seeing you continue. Thank you for sharing your story with our students and alumni.
Yeah, bless you guys for everything you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow, once again, beautiful and powerful, and it was such a privilege to get to interview her.
Absolutely, very inspiring. All right, so as we wrap up, Abby, we're starting to get some signs of spring here, a little bit of warmer weather. We're in the 40s. So I have a spring theme joke. How can you tell spring flowers are friendly?
Oh, I feel like I might be able to guess this one. They're warm. They're I'm thinking of the warm weather, but
they always have new buds.
Nice. Oh, they're always willing to make some new
right.
friends. That's great.
I love the spring
it.
flowers. I can't wait to see them pop up. Do you have a favorite flower?
Ooh, tough one. I really like hydrangeas a lot. I have those in my
that's
front.
a good one.
And,
Yeah, those are really
yes.
beautiful.
What about you?
I don't know. I like a lot of different flowers, but I do especially love the tulips. We have tulip time around
and
here
your
in
nice
Holland.
Dutch background.
Dutch heritage. Yeah, but I do love a tulip. Just classic.
It is very classic, very spring.
Yes.
So as a closing encouragement, we have this verse from James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. And, this verse, I think, really even connects back to that testimony shared from Tammy about, she's persevering under continued trials and that standing that test, again, not only is there the ultimate reward of, eternity with God, but also there's a lot of times where we do stand the test and that reward is great. And for those of you, again, who might be experiencing some sort of trials or persecutions, again, just keep pushing forward, even if it's maybe looks like a little less steady right now or there needs to be some adjustment, but, don't give up, keep pushing forward and standing that test, there will be that reward.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were just saying how sometimes, when you accept your calling and you feel like you're on this amazing path, that's often when the tests come, and it can be frustrating because, that perseverance doesn't always come easily, and it doesn't always look like exactly how you envisioned and dreamed. But yeah, that perseverance and standing the test is so important. And, we're here for you in this. We love hearing your stories of how you've been overcoming and how you've been multiplying. So just be encouraged with that verse.
Absolutely. Keep being a multiplier. God bless and thank you.